Good evening, parents, and welcome to Bell High School's Back to School Night. My name is Ms. Aguilar, and I teach math for the Bell Gifted STEM Magnet. And I started teaching here at Bell back in 2014 when the Bell Magnet opened. I have been teaching for 20 years. And in those 20 years, I've taught all levels of high school math. I've taught from Algebra 1 all the way up to Advanced Placement Calculus. Currently this year, I'm teaching all the pre-calculus students for the Gifted Magnet, along with working with the group of students as their junior advisory teacher. Let me take you to my next slide, where we can talk a little bit more about the different components of my pre-calculus course. And I'm going to do that by going around my virtual classroom here. So let's talk about Schoology. Schoology is the main platform that I use to communicate with students and parents. This is where we can go ahead and find links to all the information we need for the class. CPM stands for College Prep Math. I use that with our textbook to help our students learn the curriculum. Now, this textbook students can find online, the ebook through Connect Ed, and they can find the link to that in Schoology as well. So Schoology is a place where they need to go to get to all the information for the course. What you see here is a calendar. I use the calendar system to help track students in terms of how they're doing week by week, and if they're getting the homework done and classroom assignments done. If you see a stamp, it's good, they've done it. But if you see circles, it's been incomplete or they haven't done it at all. This helps you as a parent to ask your student every Monday, hey, let me see your calendar for math class. And they get it back on Monday, so ask them Monday in the evening, and you'll see how their grade's going up or down each week. So that's a good way for you as a parent to monitor the progress of your student in my class. I do offer tutoring. Okay. So let me go ahead and show you guys the tutoring schedule for my course. So during the school day, they can come to my classroom, room M7, during homeroom or during break every day. If they need after-school tutoring, they would need to go through Educare in room 131 from 3:45 to 4:45. And I will actually be there in those tutoring sessions so they can get help directly from me for the course. Let's go ahead and look at the syllabus. I'm just going to point out some key features or key information here. You can read it on your own with your center daughter. But right here is what I want you guys to look at. Look at my grading policy. 40% of their grade is worth for assignments, and 60% of their grade is based on assessments. I let the C go down as low as 68%. Other than that, it's a basic 70, 80, 90 grade scale. They are expected to have a Spiral notebook for this class. That's like their portfolio that they're keeping. So everything they do for this class goes in the Spiral notebook. There should be no loose papers in their backpacks or in their notebooks for math. They should all be glued in to their Spiral notebook. And here's a reminder of the tutoring schedule. Here's my email address. Whoops, let me go back. If you ever need to contact me. Okay, so I'm going to write that down. We do need to have a calculator in this class, either a scientific or a graphing calculator. Now, if your students don't have this, that's fine. I do have a class set of scientific calculators in the classroom. Graphing, if they need to use a graphing calculator when they're at home, they would then use Desmos to help get their work done at home. That's an online graphing calculator. Along with taking unit tests and quizzes, they have to work on checkpoints. And checkpoints, we work with those through iExcel, Delta Math, and also ALEX. Let me show you what checkpoints are, because that goes into our 60% category. So we take you to checkpoints here. So the pre-calculus checkpoints are a list of skills that the students should master before they go on to the next math course. So through these 3 programs, I will work with them to go ahead and start mastering these skills. I will actually launch this program or the checkpoints towards the middle of September. So this is a way for me to catch the learning gaps, especially when last year we were learning remotely. Some students might have missed something, and this is my way to catch any gaps they have so that they're ready for next year. If there's any questions or concerns, feel free to email me. But other than that, I look forward to working with your son or daughter this school year and getting them ready to take their next math class. Have a good evening, and once again, thank you for attending our back to school night. Bye-bye.